Taurus. 5 key points, 5 key dates, 5 key astrological aspects for you to get your head around to navigate the astrological climate for the month of July. So this is for the sun in Taurus or for the rising sign. Let's start with point 1. Point 1 is actually the 2nd and 3rd of July. They're kind of meshed in together here because on the 2nd, Venus, your ruling planet, our planet of love, relationship, finance, self-worth, in Leo, in your 4th house of home and family, squares Uranus in your sign. Now Uranus, my big outer boy of the unexpected, of shocks, of surprises, of all manner of kind of earth-changing things. You have been going through navigating this energy for several years now, so you'll be quite a master at it. Now, what does this square from Venus mean? Well, I think what it means is you need to be careful about loved ones and how you communicate with them. That comes up a bit later as well in another of the aspects. Don't overthink anything. Don't take offense at anything anyone might say to you. You're going to have Venus in that 4th house for quite a few months because it has a retrograde, which I'll come to in a minute. Now, also on the 3rd, we have a full moon in Capricorn. Now, this is your 9th house of travel. It's the part of your chart to do with higher education, higher learning. It's a full moon. It's about closure. Have you reached a point with something you've been learning that you really feel you can say, yeah, I've done pretty well with this, and maybe I don't need to dwell too much longer on that subject. Maybe I need to move up to another one. Or are you thinking about making a journey of some description, which would really kind of be something you really want to do, but somehow the kind of the times and the energy is just not conducive to it? Don't worry, it will change, because remember, we have a new moon in Cancer on the 17th. So that is in your 3rd house of communication and also travel. So by then things might tend to fall into place a bit better. But let's go back to point 2, because on the 12th of July, the North Node that you've had in your sign for about 18 months. Now, the North Node is about our destiny, your destiny and our collective destiny. It's moving over your ascendant back into your 12th house of Aries, which is very much the inner you, your psyche, your sort of inner world, your shadow side as well, the part of you that can get lost in the realms of who you are and how you want to appear to the world. So how is this going to affect your life over the next 18 months? Because you will experience eclipses in your 12th house and in your 6th house, Libra, which of course is where the South Node is. What I think this will bring is some kind of better working methods with your working routine, because I think you will have learnt from past mistakes how to kind of streamline the way you work. So that is going to be super helpful with this kind of energy. You may also find with that South Node in your 6th house that there are a few little pesky health issues that you need to address and sort out. Let's move on to point 3, because point 3, July 17th, Mercury in Leo, in your 4th house of home and family. You remember Venus is here too. Mercury is now going to be squaring my big outer boy, Jupiter, who is resident in your sign of Taurus, in your 1st house. Now, Jupiter, of course, expands everything it touches. It's a square. It's a challenging aspect. Be careful you don't get carried away with what you talk about to your family. Don't over-exaggerate. Don't overcompensate. Just be mindful of your words whilst this energy is around. If you remember, I talked about Venus in this part of your chart too, and that is also adding a little bit of a flavor of look at your self-worth in all of this, and also look at love and how you feel and actually care about your loved ones and family. Let's move on to point 4, which is July 23rd. Venus, now this is a big one. Venus, our planet of relationship and love, your ruling planet, is going to be in your 4th house, Leo, for the next 4 months. I think if I can add it up right. And it's going to have a retrograde. And on the 23rd, it turns retrograde until September when it turns direct. But it doesn't enter your 5th house of fun, Virgo, until October. Now, some people worry about a retrograde planet. With Mercury, we worry about communications getting mixed up. With Venus, we worry about relationships floundering, ending, failing. Do not fear these things. You may get second chances to repair relationships, perhaps with family, that have floundered. So maybe it will be a good time during these summer months to actually reconnect, because it's retrograding, it's retrograding back. Reconnect with perhaps family members that you've not been in touch with for a while. I'm certainly going to try and do that myself, because as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, there are certain people in my family I've not really been keeping up to date with, and it will be a good time to do that. So finally, point 5 is about Chiron, and this is the 23rd of July. Chiron, our wounded healer, our asteroid of healing and that inner wound that we often carry, turns retrograde in your 12th house. I think you will move into a period of reflection. Remember, it's a R again, an R-E. We have retrograde, reflect, revisit. I think you will be reflecting on certain areas of your life that you've been thinking about, your psyche, your inner self. I think you'll be giving it a lot of thought. And this is okay, because this could actually be a very good healing experience for you. You know, if you've never talked to a coach or a therapist or a counselor, this would be a good time to do that and reflect on certain parts of your psyche in your life that you perhaps have left just to kind of manage on themselves, and perhaps you actually need to give some attention to. So there we go, Taurus. That's your 5 key points, 5 key areas, 5 key transits. Thank you so much for joining me for these short but medium short videos for the zodiac signs for July. And please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.